Ron Paul was being interviewed by Dana Bash of CNN. They're going to ask him some questions, ones that I don't think are necessarily particularly that tough even, but at some point, Paul's campaign gets mad and leaves the interview. First, we're going to show you the CNN version of this, okay? So we're going to do clip number 9. This is what they aired on CNN.
So I asked, later on, I asked Ron Paul about that, and he didn't love the question. Listen, at the last stop where you just were, it was madness. But there was a woman there who was a New Hampshire voter. She voted for Barack Obama in the last primary. She said she's told me that if she would have been able to just shake your hand and look you in the eye, you would have gotten her vote, but now she's turned off because you left. Does that say anything about your ability to connect with
This is something about the media.
And they cut it right there. Now, we actually have the tape of the whole exchange, including the earlier questions and how Ron Paul left and what you didn't see in that tape. Afterwards, we'll tell you who's right and who's wrong. Let's watch.
At the last stop where you just were, it was madness. But there was a woman there who was a New Hampshire voter. She voted for Barack Obama in the last primary. She told me that if she would have been able to just shake your hand and look you in the eye, you would have gotten her vote, but now she's turned off because you left. Does that say anything about your ability to connect?
This is something about the media.
This is junk. This is junky question. We're stopping.
This
is junk. We're moving to the next one. These are junky questions.
Yes. Because you, the media, did that to her. She should have been furious with you.
You want to ask good questions?
I want to ask about a voter.
That was absolutely wrong. You saw, because there were 100 reporters just like you and your crew that crushed that woman over. We're done.
She said that she's exactly
Group Jenkins with Greta.
You're part of the same group.
We're done.
Sorry, sir.
All right, so now that you've seen the whole tape, I think Ron Paul is totally wrong. I think it's a perfectly normal question. A voter didn't get to shake your hand. You know, how do you reach out to a voter like that? In fact, it's kind of a benign question. Who cares? I mean, I don't mean that you don't care about the voter. You answer it in a simple way. You say, well, I would have loved to have shaken his or her hand. I'm sorry that I didn't get a chance to. And if you think that it was because of the media, say, and by the way, there was so much press there that I couldn't get to him, and I wish that, that wasn't the case. What's so hard about that? Now, the reason that I think the Paul camp is even more in the wrong here is because this is an old trick to intimidate the press. If you ask us even the slightest question that we find slightly objectionable, then we'll shut it down. How dare you ask that question? That's it, you're done, you're done. Now, this also helps them for a number of reasons, because they get to go liberal media bashing, as if CNN was liberal media. I wish. They're not even remotely liberal, right? But last time that they had an interaction like this, it turns out that they thought it helped them. So they're like, see, we did it again. CNN was so unfair to us, and we walked away. So they get to pander to their followers. They get to pretend to be against the media who's, being rough on them. And by the way, they have a million reasons to complain about the media. Ron Paul nearly came in first in Iowa. He came in third by only 2 percentage points. He's number 2 in New Hampshire. They still won't cover him. He shouldn't be complaining about the lack of press. About too much press. He should be complaining about the lack of press, right? But this is not a legitimate complaint. She asked a perfectly fair question. Answer the damn question, okay? I hate what they did there. I think it speaks incredibly poorly of them, and it's very political and cheap and cheesy.